And today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 reasons Chief Wiggum should be fired.
Yo, Chief, we got a problem here. I see a vase, but Eddie sees two people in profile.
Now, this may shock you, but you're both right. Hold it right there, Sideshow Bob. You're under arrest.
By Lucifer's beard!
Yeah. It's a good thing you drifted by this brothel.
Looks to me like he suffered a lot, Chief.
Oh, geez, Lou. How long are we gonna let me keep drinking this thing?
For this list, we'll be looking at all the reasons the Simpsons' hilarious police chief should be in a different line of work. What's your favorite Wiggum moment? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. He's incredibly lazy. Chief Wiggum would much rather take a nap than solve a case. It's not unusual to find him sleeping on the job or otherwise ignoring his duties.
What in God's name are you doing?
Isn't this 742 Evergreen Terrace?
No, that's next door.
In one episode, he goes after a reckless Homer and Snake, brawling on top of a car. Their crime? In the words of Wiggum, waking a police officer.
What the... This is Wiggum reporting a 318, waking a police officer.
And another, he ignores an emergency call while waiting for a lottery drawing to be announced, claiming the number they dialed is actually 912.
They're about to start, Chief.
No, you got the wrong number. This is 912.
While it's important to be rested for the job, Chief Wiggum definitely takes it a step too far. Then again, with his intelligence, maybe he's better off sleeping. Number 9. Buying smoothies instead of finding Lisa. Like Homer, Chief Wiggum has a hard time saying no to his appetite. But even the Simpson father would know better than to get something to drink instead of looking for a missing child.
Why can't you just accept the fact that Lisa is old enough to take care of herself? Back off and let her live her life. But she's only 8. Oh, I thought you said 80.
In season 15's Smart and Smarter, Lisa, jealous of baby Maggie's newly discovered intellect, runs away from home.
Goodbye, Maggie. I'm smart enough to know you're better off without me.
Homer and Marge enlist the help of Springfield's finest, and Wiggum's first proposal is to buy some smoothies.
Looking good, boys. Now let's go get some smoothies.
Lisa is eventually found safe, and she helps Maggie to save their family, but as per usual, Chief Wiggum provides little more than hilarious incompetence. Number 8. He mistreats Lou. Great bosses inspire their employees to be the best they possibly can. That doesn't describe Chief Wiggum, who regularly treats Officer Lou as a nuisance that he can't stand listening to.
Quiet, Lou, or I will bust you down to Sergeant so fast it'll make your head spin.
The worst part? Lou is usually right, and Wiggum completely refuses to heed his common sense. In one episode, Wiggum arrests an innocent Sideshow Bob despite Lou informing him that his brother already confessed to the crime.
Cecil just voluntarily confessed, Chief.
Well, that's some good work, Lou. You'll make Sergeant for this.
I already am, Sergeant, Chief.
Perhaps you are. But I say Bob goes back to jail.
In the Simpsons movie, Lou tells him Fat Tony and his mafia crew are likely disposing of a body, not yard trimmings as they claim, and Wiggum once again undercuts him.
Chief, I think there was a dead body in there.
I thought that too, until he said yard trimmings. You gotta learn to listen, Lou.
In any city besides Springfield, Lou would be the one calling the shots. Number 7. He medicated Ralph from the evidence locker. Chief Wiggum definitely seems to love his son Ralph, but a loving father isn't always a good one.
Ralph certainly has a lot of imagination.
Oh, yeah, the kid's incredible. I mean, the special schools are all over him.
In season 16's Midnight RX, a prescription drug crisis causes the people of Springfield to go to desperate lengths to get their much-needed pills.
Following the lead of Springfield Nuclear Power, other local companies are canceling their prescription drug plans.
Wiggum turns to using contraband drugs in the evidence locker to treat his son. Immediately, the effects of these inappropriate medications are shown, with Ralph's pupils dilating to an impossible size and him exclaiming a classic Ralphism.
I'm cuckoo for contraband.
Someone needs to call the police on this police officer, along with Child Protective Services. Number 6. He didn't help Apu and Manjula save their kids. If you need help getting your kids back, don't expect Chief Wiggum to help. In this episode, Apu and Manjula's octuplet babies are held hostage at a zoo for a live entertainment show.
Our babies are not circus freaks. We're taking them home now.
Hold on, Alpo. We got a contract.
Not anymore. Laminated. You monster.
So they go down to the police station to try to enlist Wiggum's help. Right away, Wiggum says he's powerless, and it's immediately clear that he's been bought off, as shown by the giant sack of elephant-grade peanuts right beside him.
The zookeeper paid you off, didn't he?
Paid me off? What are you, crazy?
The octuplets are saved, but once again, the characters and viewers see just how useless Chief Wiggum is when it comes to helping the citizens of his town.
Round.
Well, if the police won't help us, we'll simply have to take the law into our own hands.
Yeah, a lot of people are doing that these days.
Number 5. Didn't believe the liquor store robbery. It's good to have some skepticism, but not at the level of Chief Wiggum. When Bart's elephant Stampy goes on a rampage, the police department receives plenty of calls about his destruction.
Yeah, right, lady. An elephant ran through your front yard. Okay.
We can understand Wiggum not believing these, but right after he answers one about a liquor store robbery involving an officer who's been shot,
Wiggum. Yeah, right, buddy. Liquor store robbery, officer down. Sure. And I'm Edward G. Robinson.
his bored demeanor and sarcastic responses alone are enough to disqualify him for his job. But it's also clear that Wiggum's inaction actually makes his community even more dangerous.
Wiggum. Yeah, right, mister. An elephant just knocked over your mailbox. Okay.
Did he read The Boy Who Cried Wolf one too many times? Number 4, telling Bart to jump. Chief Wiggum has the power to speak out against mistreatment and help people feel safe, but he'd much rather add to the pile-on.
Thanks, Chief.
Don't mention it, son. He's back! Go nuts, everyone!
In this Season 18 episode, Bart causes his baseball team to lose the championship and him to become hated by everyone in town.
You're listening to KBBL, your official Bart Simpson Sucks station.
Oh, and here comes another Bash Bart block, starting with this entry from Jimbo Dolphin Curdy.
Bart stinks! Yeah!
This torment gets so bad, he climbs up a water tower, ready to plunge to his death. A crowd forms to watch, which includes our not-so-sensitive chief.
Bart, stop! No one's mad at you anymore, right?
Yeah.
Jump! Who said that?
After everyone agrees they are no longer angry at Bart, a voice is heard from a bullhorn, telling him to jump. Who else could it have been? Number 3, releasing Snake and other criminals from jail. All these items are worthy of firing, but this one is grounds for Chief Wiggum being locked up himself. When Bart and Lisa's hockey teams face off against each other, Bart's coach, Wiggum, visits the jail to tell Snake and others they can come watch the game if they promise to return to jail.
All right, I'm gonna make a little deal with you, mugs. I'm gonna let you all out to see my team play the hockey game if you promise to return to your cells.
Despite Snake telling him that that's not going to happen, Wiggum then offers to let them out for good if they give up their criminal lifestyles. Snake still says no, but Wiggum's not hearing it.
You can see the game, you don't have to come back, but you have to promise not to commit any more crimes, okay?
No.
I'll take that as a yes.
Predictably, things end up in chaos. Hey, at least Snake knows about the importance of honesty.
Those kids are like so sweet. If only they had had Pee-wee hockey when I was a lad. Oh well.
Number 2, shooting the captain of the high school basketball team. Now, this is a Halloween episode, so it's technically not canon. However, it's not too far from something Wiggum would do in a normal episode. When giant advertising mascots come to life and run amok in Springfield, Chief Wiggum quickly puts an end to one, leaving a big and tall clothing shop.
They're not so tough.
But his cockiness is quickly cut short when Lou informs him he actually shot the captain of the high school basketball team.
Chief, that wasn't a monster. That was the captain of the high school basketball team.
Wiggum's sheepish reasoning that he was turning into a monster wouldn't hold up in any court. To be fair, that's one tall high schooler.
Yeah, he was turning into a monster, though.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. He destroyed the church.
You were the wind beneath my ass.
stealing money from evidence locker for Ralph's birthday party.
This money has been sitting here since 1998, not doing anybody any good. I want to get Ralphie something nice. Yeah, a few thousand should do.
He didn't stop the Ogdenvillians from entering the border.
All right, boys, round them up. And throw them the swingin'est soiree they've ever seen.
Number 1 is corruption. Chief Wiggum is all about protect and serve. That is, if we're talking about protecting himself and serving his own interests.
That's some nice work, Simpson, but we can't hold him. There's no evidence.
Yes, there is. There's a garage full of counterfeit jeans.
They've mysteriously disappeared. Looking good, boys.
He'll misuse his power in a myriad of ways, from bashing out Homer's taillight after Lisa hurts Ralph's feelings, to allowing his officers to keep counterfeit jeans discovered at a crime scene.
Something wrong, officer?
Yeah, got a taillight out.
Where?
Right there.
And we can't talk about Wiggum without talking about how eager he is to take a bribe. With the Springfield police badge reading cash bribes only, he's not the only one at fault.
The guy I'm really looking for, wink, is Mr. Bribe, wink, wink.
It's a ring toss game.
That's it. I'm shutting this game down.
But it's still clear that Wiggum is just too corrupt for his and the town's own good.